Hey, Sue. So, how was work? Well, work was work, as always. I see, that you're in the outfit. Yes, today's fanfic is going to be very, questionable, so, you know, as promised, I decided to wait for you to come home before doing any reading. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you know how bad the story is going to be? Yes, I have an idea. Do you know what it's about? Oh, yes, it's about us. Us? Yes, about us. Who's the author? Mylokitty. Meg, are you okay? Mm-hmm. I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Yes, I'm sure. I'm fine. I mean, if you want, if you want, you can join me upstairs. Just sit on the bed while I do the review. Or sit off in the background. I don't mind. No, I'll stay down here. When you're done with the review, I'll make us dinner. Okay? Okay. Are you sure that you'll be fine? I'm sure. All right. Well, I better get to it then. All right. Well, I wish you luck. Thank you. I will need it. Fuck did I put my phone? Well, hopefully Meg will be okay. Of course. Of course, you're bloody spying. Why am I not surprised by... You know damn well why I'm freaking having her read a freaking Mylokitty story! Bloody hell. We're just gonna assume that Meg was on the phone with the creator there. Now, the title of this episode, The Reflection in Her Eyes, it sounds innocent. But, considering that I just came upstairs and the camera's on, I think it's safe to say that you all were spying. But in case you weren't, let's talk about what today's fanfic is going to be. Mylokitty wrote a fanfic about me and Meg. All of her fanfics, in fact, are about me and Meg. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing today. Because Mylokitty was like, oh, guess what? Guess you wrote a new fanfic. And the creator's like, oh, okay. And then the next thing I know, I'm being rung up and saying, by the way, you're reviewing a Mylokitty story. The reflection in her eyes. Here's the summary. Wait a minute. Is that supposed to be Meg? I think that is supposed to be Meg. It's like cover art. But Meg's not a redhead. I'm not a redhead. Right, I need to look at the other stories now. I need to see. Are they all like this? Yes, the two redheads. They're supposed to be us. But why is Lesbian Jesus a brunette? In fact, why are Meg and I redheads? What the bloody hell? And... oh, come off it, really? Really? You know, I should probably keep it down, because Meg is having a bit of a row with the creator. It sounds kind of quiet now. I swear to God, creator, if you did anything harmful to Meg, I will break the fourth wall and strangle you. Even if it means we all die. It'll serve you right. Right. Back to the story on hand. The summary of this story. Meg comes home earlier than expected. This takes place during current times. Much to her surprise, Susan is spending the time in a candlelit room and shows a side of her which she always hid in front of Meg. Unnecessary punctuation is unnecessary. What will happen next in the FanFic Critic household? Rated M. Of course it is. Rated English. Rated English. It's in English. Mine's a bit of a jumble. Friendship romance, of course. Over 1,000 words, so it's like 1,420 to be precise. And there's a review. I'm not going to read the review quite yet. I just want to see who it is. It's Meg's personal... Oh wait, I keep forgetting that her and the creator technically have the same fanfiction.net account. I'm not going to read the review, but I think I'll read it afterwards. So the creator read this story already. And I already saw a little bit of what her review said. Apparently she thought it was funny, if I'm going by what I just caught a glimpse of. So it was published 2 days ago. So today's date, when I'm recording this, is December 19th. So Meg and I, our universe might be a little, out of sync with your universe. A little bit. This won't be aired around then. But, you know, that's just how it is in our universe. So for me, anyway, it's December 19th. And this was published on December 17th, and it's complete. So at least this won't be a multi-parter. Let's just get on with the review. And yes, I have to read this out loud. When I did the other Mylokitty stories on my web series, I didn't have to read them out loud, because that was when I still did the summarized review. But no, I have to read this one out loud. The creator insisted on it. Of course. Let's get started. Meg went to work, but got home 4 hours earlier than usual. Turns out her boss and half of the co-workers got leprosies, so the whole place got quarantined. I probably didn't say that right, Annika. Maybe the rat infestation should have been dealt with earlier, but a certain redhead made friends with them. A certain redhead. Is she trying to say Meg? Does this look red to you? No, it is brown. It is not red. We're not redheads. We never were redheads, so stop saying we're bloody redheads. And Meg would not make friends with... I mean, she does save spiders, I suppose. But she wouldn't... Let's read the rest of this first. She left them open jugs of milk. Meg would not do this. My bloody God. In exchange, they left her lunch alone. Meg does not eat her lunch in the dairy cooler. Are you bloody serious? Whatever. Sadly, all good things come to an end. Meg wished the affected people a quick recovery. One thing is for sure. If the bacterial disease won't kill them, then the hospital bill will make them wish they'd kick the bucket. God bless America. Well, that is true. It's ridiculous how the healthcare is in this country. It really is. Even in our universe, it's ridiculous. Especially, you know, since, the creator revealed herself to us. Things from her universe have been heavily blending into this universe. You know, again, like I had mentioned about my bedroom disappearing, and now it's, you know, Meg's gonna make it into a drawing room. Right now, it's still a work in progress, but it's gonna be her drawing room / an extra office and a reading room, you know. But, you know, that used to be my bedroom. And then when the creator revealed herself, my bedroom disappeared, and that room became the cat bathroom. But both of our cats are no longer with us. And yes, we are going to get new cats soon, but we're not going to have the cat bathroom be there. We're going to do it a bit differently, but I digress. But, you know, as the point I'm trying to make is, when the creator revealed herself to us, a lot of things from her universe started to, like, merge with ours. So, yes, one of the things, you know, whole US economy, the charming president we had from 2016 to 2020, the pandemic, obviously. So, right, let's get back to it. When Meg arrived to her house, she approached it slowly. Susan, I might as well do Meg's voice. Susan is probably busy with a fanfiction. I'm going to enter the house silently, so that I won't bother her, thought Meg. Okay, that was a really atrocious Meg impression. As she opened the door, she noticed something was odd. George Michael's Careless Whisper was playing loudly upstairs, and she smelled scented candles. Did she drink a bottle of whiskey in one go again? Okay, that was a little better, but now I sound like Squidward. Meg slowly walked up to Susan's room. The door was closed. Both the music and the candle scent were coming from there. Well, at least Meg's more intelligent in this story. Oh my God, is that Susan Burbank? And the other story is so bloody stupid. Should I check if everything is all right? It seems so weird. What's so weird about having scented candles? We have candles. I mean, there's a candle right over there. It's not lit, but nothing wrong with candles. And why is Meg talking to herself out loud? She asked herself out loud as she hesitated in front of the door. And how do I not hear her? Then she had an idea. Instead of opening the door and possibly causing an embarrassing moment for both, she decided to peek through the look. Oh yes, real creepy. What Meg saw was one of those things that needed to be seen to believe. Susan was tactfully and suggestively dancing to a song describing ultimate regret. That wasn't the weirdest thing though. Susan was wearing Meg's clothes, hat included. Are you implying that I'm wearing the clothes that she wears to work? If Meg was at work, how could I be wearing her clothes? Did I just snap my finger and she was magically naked at work? Meg just has that one hat. So am I wearing one of her other hats? And why am I dressed up as Meg? What is she doing? Asked Meg while trying to comprehend what she's saying. Then Susan stopped dancing and approached the mirror. She leaned towards the mirror, touching it, caressing it. It was the reflection of her affection. The candlelit atmosphere gave an extra touch to this special moment. "Hello, sexy. You're looking very good today," said Susan. She then moved to the other side of the mirror and imitated Meg's voice. "What? What? What? Oh, I thought you'd never say so. Why don't you pucker up and give your lover a kiss? I thought you'd never ask. What type of crazy nonsense is this? What the bloody hell?" Just keep reading, just keep reading. And then visualize yourself taking a sledgehammer. Right. With that said, sorry, I lost my place. I lost my place, sorry about that. I'm just thinking of what it might look like to you viewers, me just staring at the computer like this. Sorry. Right, sorry. With that said, Susan put her hands on the mirror, came closer to it, and gave it a passionate kiss. Okay. Meg was so stunned by this that it took her a total of 47 seconds to finally react, and she opened the door. "What is the meaning of this?" asked Meg. Susan panicked and hysterically moved her arms. "I can explain! It's not what you think it is!" Is that what you meant by moving your arms? Whatever. "Oh, really? Do tell. I'm all ears." I recited a play. Yes, I recited a play." "And what's the name of the play?" The name is it Single White Female?" "Yes, that's it. The play is based on that famous book. You should read it too." "It's a movie, Susan. There is no book of said work, nor is there a play. You haven't even seen it, haven't you?" Get rid of the second haven't and have it say have. Now, sorry. "Now, Susan, tell me what the hell is going on here?" demanded Meg. "The truth is, Meg, that I missed you so much that I passed time by reenacting some of your fanfiction episodes." That's not what you were doing. Fanfic me, that was definitely not what you were doing. "I'll promise I'll never do it again." "You're lying!" "I'm not." "Okay, then please do explain why the room is full of scented candles and why this George Michael song is playing on loop." Susan just looked at the ground and decided to take the fifth. "Silence isn't going to get you out of this one. If you're not going to speak, then I'll find the answer myself," said Meg, before she began to look closely at things in the room. What is there to look at? I mean, it's obvious what was going on here. She quickly noticed that the laptop shows a website with a lot of text. "What is that? Is this a fan fiction? Let me take a closer look." I love how there's no period after look. "No, Meg, don't!" the fanfic critic and her vagina of wonders. How? Was that actually what it was called? I thought it was called Meg and her vagina of wonders. Oh, no. I thought it got wrongfully reported on fanfiction.net. Wait a second. This is on Pastebin. It thankfully got saved. Thankfully? Did those words come out of my character's mouth? Thankfully. Thankfully. I loathe and despise that bloody story. Are you... Oh, no. You are going where I think you're going, aren't you? Yes, you are. And the only reason why I'm whispering is because I know that Meg is crossed downstairs, and I don't need her bolting up the stairs and going, what the bloody hell are you reading? She already knows what I'm reading, but... Right. Let's get on with it. Thankfully? Yes, Meg, that fanfic. It made me realise my feelings for you. It opened up a door to an imaginary world where I had the courage to finally fulfill my lifelong dream of shoving a cucumber up your vagina, because I like to use cucumbers to rape people with, apparently. I added that bit in, she didn't really say that. Your lifelong dream is to shove a zucchini up my crotch? Oh, it was a zucchini, not a cucumber. Okay, well, Fanfic Meg got the same line of thought that I did. Susan didn't reply. She just stared at the floor. You were the one who saved it on Pastebin, didn't you? Asked Meg. Yes, I did. Although Mylokitty did later post it. I think you're missing a word. On the adult fanfiction website. Oh no, that means it still exists. Oh no. And no, I'm not reading it! As well as sharing it around some podcasts. People did... These are your only pair of glasses, except for Megan's old grandma glasses that you can't see diddly squat out of, so let's not break them. I'm sorry, dear, but you did look like a grandmother in those old glasses, I'm just saying. Now answer me honestly. Why did you do all of this? If Meg had a Pokemon nature in this fanfic, it would be oblivious, apparently. Repetitive. Love you from the bottom of my heart, Meg. I bury these feelings in myself, always made sure not to show them to you, but every time you're not close, I simply can no longer keep them to myself. That's why I am dressed up as you. It's why the room is like it is. It's even the reason why I became the new FanFic Critic, said Susan before starting to cry. Meg just looked at Susan. She didn't know where to even start with this. I know you can never forgive me. I'll pack my stuff and I'll go instantly. Wait, Susan, haven't you noticed it yet, love? Oh God, I know where this is going. What? Look at us. Isn't something odd? Oh my God, we're in text format. No, you're not. This is just... never mind. And you know what that means? The moment I said, I love you, you fell in love with me. This is deliberate. This is bloody deliberate. She's deliberately having a... Exactly. Come give your favorite third cousin a hug. Passionate piano music began playing. And Meg asked for Susan's hand for a dance. At that moment, a gentleman appeared out around the corner. It was Mr. Darcy impersonator. Susan hired a decade ago. He patiently waited for this moment. Oh, he's... Okay, well, I think it's safe. I think if she was going to come upstairs, she would have done so by now. Unless the creator did something not very nice to her. She better not have. Right. Let's continue. The payment was good, but living in the broom closet for so long was getting tiresome. We don't have a blue... Unless referring to that closet, or my old bedroom / whatever the hell it is now. At last he was free. Ladies... I'm glad. This is the worst voice ever. Deal with it. I'm glad you finally found into each other's arms. Fell into each other's arms. How hard is it to write fell? And with that, my job here is done. What exactly were you doing? Just being kidnapped in a closet? Were you, like, sprinkling ideas into our heads or something? Explain. For other formalities, you'll need a man of cloth. A man of cloth. And with that said, he promptly left. What is a man of cloth? Well, I don't get it. Was it a deal that I kidnapped him to teach us how to dance? Is that it? And what's a man of cloth? I don't think I want to know what a man of cloth is. With that, the girls were once again alone in the room. Meg said, "It's been nearly 10 years since I revisited that story. I almost forgot it. You mean to tell me that during all this time you secretly read it on special occasions?" What was so great about that story? Nothing was great about that story. I don't remember much of what happened. All I know is that at one point my character decided to rape Meg with a zucchini. That's not romantic, that's rape. It's abuse and it's rape. But I don't know. People in fandoms for some reason think abuse is romantic. Oh, he beat the shit out of her, how romantic. Bloody stupid. What can I say? These were 10 lonely years, but they have now come to an end, and who knows, maybe for the anniversary, a new version of said fanfic will return to fanfiction.net. Don't you bloody dare, Mylokitty! So, can I request it to you? You're implying to me that Meg would request... Hey, Susan! Do you want to read a story about you shoving a zucchini on my crotch? She would not request a story like that! No. No. Oh my God, you bullshit. Flipping you off in English, in American, and Brit. You bloody... You can't request it to me every night, Meg, Susan said passionately. With that, the piano music began to play again as the woman kissed. The moment was like a dream. Heck, it even began to rain. It even began raining inside of the room. Of course it did. Meg held Susan and said, "This is so romantic, but with the bed sheets wet, we'll have to wait for a while before we can have some steamy wall-slamming sex in here." The moment Meg said that, a whisk of wind appeared in the room, and not only did the rain stop, it resulted in everything becoming dry. "Thank you, lesbian Jesus," said Meg while winking at her divine spying camera. If lesbian Jesus was still around, she would get a kick out of the story, I have no doubt. She'd get a kick of a lot of things that have happened recently, if I'm to be honest. You know, I haven't seen her in a very long time. I wonder if the creator's influence has anything to do with that. Susan also thanked her. "We'll make sure you'll have the first row spectacle like you haven't seen before." What? No! No! I don't want someone watching me having sex with my significant other. What? No! Especially lesbian Jesus, could you imagine? Wait here, Meg. Let me get the zucchini. What? What? Oh my God, Mylokitty, I am this close to breaking through the computer. Well, the computer. Would it be this? No, I guess it, I don't know, because you probably exist in the creator's universe, so I can't touch you, can I? Of course not. Of course not. No, Susan, I want to be the one who uses the zucchini in this Meg said family. Susan laid on the bed, just smugly smirked as she heard that. After all, who wouldn't? Are you guys going to get undressed first at the very least? You're just going to penetrate it through the trousers? A.N. I hope you liked my story. Ah, no! It was proofread by an English teacher. Well, I will say it does have better spelling and grammar compared to the other stories. Eurocat was kind enough to make the cover... Eurocat, you made those images? Are you colorblind? Are you colorblind? Are you colorblind? Let me demonstrate once again. Does this look red to you? It is brown. Brown. And even when our hair was lighter when we were younger, it did not look bloody red. P.S. Susan's burping problem is getting 2 sequels, and several other FFC fanfics are planned. Stay tuned. 2023 will be wild. Right, I'm going to try to make this quick because I'm a little bit worried about Meg. Let's read the creator's review. LMFAO. I am so glad that I read this ahead of time. Susan is going to be pissed. You don't say. You don't say. I'm going to be pissed. I think I'm a little more than pissed, dearie. But I thought this was a wrong... Of course you did. Of course you did. Because we're just characters to you. Bloody creator. I usually try to read the fanfics while in character as Susan for a genuine reaction, but I probably would have broke character several times with laughing fits. This was... Oh, you thought... You legit thought this was funny, creator. You legit thought this was funny. Are you serious? This was not bloody... Now look what you did. You caused my blood to come undone. This was not funny. This was insulting. I would rather read Susan's burping problem again than read this. Oh my god. And that would not match up with Susan's anger. Well done. You see, I think this is proof right here. You know, my reaction versus the creator's reaction. That art can be separated from the artist. The artist, in this case, being the creator. And the art being me and Meg. Because I highly doubt Meg will find the story amusing too. In fact, she probably heard everything I was saying. I mean, maybe not. She did slam the door, so... But she probably heard me freaking out at the very least. I mean, we might as well start with the positives of this story. The positive. So, yes, for the most part, the spelling, grammar and layout were pretty decent. I mean, there were little typos scattered about here and there. But, in comparison to Mylokitty's other stories, not that bad, really. Not that bad at all. It was very legible. So, I guess, you know, the English teacher actually did help this time around. I mean, I'll give her credit. Credit to having original art to represent us. Although the people that you chose in question look absolutely nothing like us. And the reflection in her eyes, the title makes no sense. I don't know. So, another positive. Out of all of Mylokitty's stories, this one was definitely the best one. Take that with a grain of salt, because I'm talking about Mylokitty. But this was the best one. In regards to our relationship with each other, this one was the best one. Again, take with a grain of salt. I mean, the Susan's Bepping Problem one, we went a couple in that. But I guess you can say our friendship was pretty decent. And then the other stories, the bloody trilogy of stupidity, I'm just going to call that the Vagina Trilogy, because the first story was... Oh, no, actually, you know what? No, we'll just call that the Anatomy Trilogy, because the first two stories, one was about, you know, a vagina. The other one was about my bloody boobs. But yeah, let's be real. The relationship in that one was very toxic, and it only became somewhat healthy when we realised that we loved each other. And that magically made the abuse okay. No, abuse is abuse. Rape is rape. Rape is rape. Shoving a zucchini up someone's crotch without their consent is rape. It doesn't matter if it feels good to them, it's still rape. And I would never do that to Meg, and Meg would never do that to me. So, with that said, those were the only good things about this. Everything else about the story was utter crap. Utter bloody crap. I mean, for starters, the whole thing about Meg at work. That Meg is bloody Cinderella in the dairy cooler, and she talks to the rats and feeds them milk. No, no, no. No! And then the whole thing about me pretending to be Meg. Who do you think I am? Helga Bloody Pataki? No! And then saying that I became the new fanfic critic because I wanted to imitate Meg. No, that's not why I became the new fanfic critic. Before I did this series, I did 2 other series. One was called Secret Ramblings, which was just kind of like a blog. And the other one was called Fic Time with Susan, where the idea of that series was that I was going to read a fanfic, a good fanfic, and I was going to read it for an entire season of that show. One season would be one fanfic. I chose to do Proof of Heaven, which was a really good Sweeney Todd fanfic. I got some feedback for the first episode, kind of the second, and then after that no one really gave a shot and didn't say anything. So I gave up on that series. And after a while I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to be doing a fanfic web series, I might as well just revise the FanFic Critic and have my own spin on it. And that's how the show that you're watching this very moment came to be. I won't lie, I have been inspired by Meg, but I didn't do this because of Meg. And yes, some of you may argue that I am acting, more erratic and whatnot. But the thing about my younger self was that I didn't really do a lot of fanfic readings. I mean, yes, I would do it from time to time, but I didn't do it, a bunch of times. And, I didn't really realize back then how bad the fanfics could get. Like, I kind of understood because of how Meg was, but, my mentality back then was just that Meg was just as bloody nutter. But no, the stories can kind of affect you. I mean, what happened the other day with me doing the 2 back-to-back Spanish Fly readings, I wouldn't say I went insane after that, but something did weirdly happen to my head, and I did something rather regrettable because of it, which I'm still very upset about to this day. But I digress. I wouldn't say I went nuts, though, but the stories, at least in this universe, the fanfics do kind of affect you after a while. It does make you a little bay, in a sense. This story definitely got on my nerves. But yes, I'm not crazy, though. Or at least I hope I'm not becoming crazy. But I've tried to do my own spin with this series. Another issue with this story, well, was just how bloody cringy it was. Like, it was so bloody cringy. And like, okay, Meg and I, we've lived together for well over a decade. We've been together for a while now. And this story is implying that we just now realized that we had feelings for each other. I mean, I know it's supposed to be cliched, but it's still bloody stupid. I mean, yes, sometimes things can take a slow roll, but you do eventually realize it, even if it is by accident. This story, though, I mean, it was deliberate, but it was still bloody stupid. Like me admitting my feelings, and then Meg's like, oh, I magically love you too. And it was so bloody stupid. And then, I know it was deliberate, but talking about, oh, the piano music, and Mr. Darcy impersonator, and then it starts raining. It was just like, I know it was poking fun at stuff that did happen on this series, courtesy of the creator spying. Like, again, the bloody piano music. It wasn't my choice to have piano music when I did that oath to Meg. I mean, I get it. Maybe from your point of view, this story will be funny for those watching this because you guys are real people and I'm just a fictional character. But to me, I'm real. Meg is real. We are real to each other, and it's insulting. But Mylokitty said she's going to write more stories, and you know what? I'm just going to have to deal with it. I'm not going to be happy about it. I'll complain the entire time, but I'll just deal with it. Nothing else I can really do. So there's that. This was still better than the Spanish Fly invasion. I'll give you that. 2023 is going to be one hell of a year indeed. Well, thank you for watching today's episode. If you liked it, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next episode. I need to check on Meg and make sure she's okay, and make sure that the creator didn't do anything to her. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, cheerio. And I'll possibly see you downstairs because something tells me that the web show is going to continue to spy. Cheerio. Hey, Meg. Hey. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? Yes, and then some. I could kind of hear some of it, but, you know, again, it's muffled. Probably similar to when I had done that botched Vulcan pinch and you could kind of hear me when you were paralyzed. Yeah, I had a feeling that you could kind of hear me. I was trying not to be loud, but there were some moments that I, well, you know, couldn't contain myself, I suppose. Do I want to know what they frickin' did? Probably not, but, I mean, regardless, all I'll say is that it's definitely a doozy. I mean, if you want, you can watch the raw file. No, I'll wait until you edit it. It's not a big deal. Speaking of, hearing things, I, could hear you when you were, I'm assuming, on the phone with, the creator. Sorry about that. I probably should have waited until you were done with the review, but I had to call her up and, she was on the other line and, she just said something that really, so I'm sorry about the yelling that you heard. You don't need to apologize, Meg. I can understand why you're angry, especially after, well, what happened the other day. I mean, she's explained herself on numerous occasions, and when she apologized to me for that, she did explain herself, and she at least did own up to her own temper and that whole thing, but still. I mean, I get it. For her, we're just fictional characters, and, you know, you needing to learn lessons, but, you know, again, she could have waited for this. She could have given you at least a couple of episodes of, even if they weren't good fanfic, it could have been, like, somewhat decent or even boring. But no, she's like, oh, well, Mylokitty wrote a new story. Here you go, Stu. Sorry. It's okay. I'm not just in a bad mood because of the creator and this. It wasn't a good day at work. It was really obnoxious. It was just one thing after another. So coming home to finding out about the creator having you read a Mylokitty story about us was kind of the boiling point. Are you going to be okay, dear? Yeah, I'll be fine, Sue. Once when I've cooled off a bit, I'll be fine. Maybe I'll just, after dinner, if you don't mind, maybe I'll just game out a little bit. Oh yes, that's fine, love. By all means. You gotta play Breath of the Wild. Oh, I'm taking a small break from Zelda. I've been playing more of the Pokemon game. It's a lot of fun. I don't get why people keep complaining about it. It's like, yeah, well, the graphics. It's like, the graphics aren't everything, and I think it's pretty decent. I mean, it's not Legend of Zelda, but I've been spoiled with Breath of the Wild, so, you know, I'll always love the Pokemon games. Even the ones that I didn't really like, I still don't mind them, so. So, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly happened at work for you today? Oh, well, it was the typical stuff. I know I told you about my coworker possibly being on an LOA, so I won't know until tomorrow if he's going to be out or not. Of course, they pulled everyone and their mother to OGP. Shocker, shocker, including myself, which I wasn't too thrilled about that. And it's been such a long time since I was pulled to OGP that I had to get used to how they do things now because it's different now. And they didn't need to pull me. They already pulled my coworker. But no, we have to pull everyone. Ah. But I digress. Yeah, I can understand why you get frustrated. You're trying to do your own job and then they just go and pull you to some other area. It is what it is, I suppose. Are you going to be okay? I'll be fine. I mean, I'm still a bit angry about the bloody story itself, but I'll live. Alright. Thank you for, you know, waiting for me to come home. You're welcome, dear. I did make a promise to you after all. If you want, if it's easier, in case I get home late, if you get a questionable or bad story and you can't wait for me to come home, you can send me a text, you know, just a text just to give me a heads up. Alright? Okay, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. It'll be fine. It's not right for me to be babysitting you anyway. It's, you know, yes, what happened the other day was, yeah, but It's not like you actually did anything harmful, just kind of spooked me, that's all. I am very sorry, Megan. I do regret what happened. I know you are, don't apologize. Besides, there was plenty of times back when I was the fanfic critic and, you know, I was still nutty that I did a few scary things to you. There was even a time that I did hold the blade up to your throat as well. So, I guess you can say we're even. I just feel bad about it. I can't help it. I just feel bad about it. Don't worry about it, Sue. So, what do you have in mind for dinner, love? I was thinking we have more of the beef pot pies. I can do that. If you don't mind, I mean. If not, I can cook us up something else. Oh, I'm perfectly fine with beef pot pies. You know I love them. They're so good. They remind me of meat pies. Fortunately, we don't sell those in the States, but it is what it is, I suppose. Okay, well, I'll get started on that. Do you want any tea with dinner, too? Yes, lavender, I think. Lavender? Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we could both use it, so I'll get started on that. All right, dear. Thank you. I know you're in here. I know that you're spying. Whatever. Whatever. I guess there could be worse things that you guys could be watching, wherever you may be. What if you're not spying? Then I'm just going to come off as a bloody nutter.